that sugar sweet. You got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion. Just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat. Tested by the motion. Loving this devotion. Live it up, live it up, live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up, switch it up, switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time. Taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights. I've got to run this show. You always take me so high. You always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe. You're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet. You got what I need. Sipping on the potion. All that good emotion. Just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat. Tested by the motion. Loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar. All I want is satisfaction. Make a move, baby, you got nothing to lose. Give me that, give me that, give me that good reaction. Gonna make it right, little like an offer I can't refuse. I'm on the road, it's my time. Taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights. I've got to run this show. You always take me so high. You always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe. You're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet. You got what I need. Sipping on the potion. All that good emotion. Just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat. Tested by the motion. Loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar Ooh, that sugar Ooh, that sugar sweet. You got what I need. Sipping on the potion. All that good emotion. Just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat. Tested by the motion. Loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar. Just my kind of heat. Ooh, that sugar.
Good morning, morning, folks. Hope you guys are well. Aman, how are you doing, buddy? Aman, am I saying that rightly? Aman. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Hope you are well. Good to see you on the stream. And if you are in the room, come and say hello. Right, let's get into the market, shall we? After how you feeling, buddy? By the way, are you settled in, or I say settled in? Are you feeling better since 2 days ago with your GJ trade? Hopefully you're kind of composed a little bit and got a little bit of time to digest and move on. But yeah, hopefully it's all okay. Right, let's talk about markets, shall we? Make sure I put this link in the chat. Yeah. 1 second. Hey Prakash, how you doing, buddy? Hope you are well. Right, so yesterday the Fed obviously paused rates. I was watching the Powell speech. I was up for some reason, so I thought I'd stick it on. They are still saying the hikes are not over yet. Possibly another 20 or 50 basis point up to the FUD rate. The rate of 5.6 is what they're expecting. But what else he did say was it's going to be a live meeting. Morning, Silver. So it's, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a bit of a wait and see scenario. They're gonna take it month by month as they always probably do. I don't know. I may be erring on the side of come next month. I know if we look at this, the market is still expecting either a pause or a 25-point hike by 72% essentially. It's pretty obviously very unlikely we see a cut, although we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I'm kind of erring on the side of as long as we continue. I know we don't have, he was talking about, there's not a massive influx of inflationary data coming out before the next meeting in July. But what he did stress is, yeah, okay, we've got these projections of, we do think there's going to be a possibility of more hikes. But he also said that we're going to take it month by month. So I don't know. Maybe I'm erring on the side of possibly we continue pausing, but I'm not going to massively predict that. That's just a hunch that I have from kind of what he was saying, but I know other people have different opinions. But we did hold rates yesterday, but I think that possibility of continued hikes, albeit of a shorter nature, caused that initial shot down in the S&P. And when I was seeing that, I was thinking, I just don't buy that. How often do we see on news events that volatility, or let's say it's against trend, markets come down and then immediately push back up? Now, I know we're kind of within this with corrective, as you'd say, small time frame in the S&P, but we did shoot back up here. Didn't quite create our V reversal. We are digesting it, so let's see where the moves. Let's see where the market goes towards the end of this week, today and tomorrow. It'll be very interesting to see. Now, before I get into that, I want to talk about this German 30 trade, which I was thinking, right? I was thinking because, okay, I don't mind where we are, where we're possibly correcting back, but then I also thought, Ryan, just stick to your plan. So I've got my SAR above here, and I've taken out the trade. I don't exactly know what R it is right now. I'll calculate the exact figures right now. Obviously, for me, it's looking about 7% or so, just looking at this 10K account, which is quite nice. I mean, lovely trade. It's got me up from basically 10,058. This is just on this one, 10,058 up to 713. So $300 or so from that scale up on this one to 20K. Which has been a quite nice trade. So if I go into it, should be updated on this, but I've just kind of closed it, so it might not be what that trade. No, it's not updated just yet, but we're up at 7.87 on this particular one. Again, it's not updated here in the June results, so once it does, then I'll probably show you guys tomorrow. But certainly the best trade of the year thus far, which is nice to get a good winner. I am wary of where we are on the daily with this as well. So I just said to myself, right, it sticks to my plan. Firstly, we could get something like this, in which case, okay, I'll look at it. I'll look at going long again on this instrument if that comes true. But a nice trade there on the German 30 or German 40, as the other account I have is with. And followed my plan and taken out. Now, I could be wrong here. We could be just in a corrective and push on. If it does that, then fine. It doesn't really matter. But a very nice trade, a good setup, and nice to see things like this coming through, certainly from an aggressive standpoint with trend, and a lovely result. So, yeah, quite happy with that German 30 trade, and currently no positions open. Right, news today. So we still have some big news. Obviously, we've got the ECB today as well, which will cause some volatility at 4:15. Looking at forecasted 25-point hike up to 4%. So again, this is news coming thick and fast today. We got retail sales, jobless, Philly Feds, retail sales, and we got the ECB press conference out. So another big day of news specifically for the euro and for the dollar, which will affect the markets as well. So be aware, starting from around 4:15 my time in UAE here. So be aware of the volatility that will come as a result of that. I am not going to predict, as I said, but again, waiting for that reaction to the news itself. Okay, so as I talked about with the S&P, I've gone slight risk on, and you take it from a daily perspective. It's it's not. I mean, is this a hanging man here, possibly on high volume, which theoretically dictates a little bit of move to the downside? It could be, but really, with the news coming out yesterday, it's nothing that is, from a technical perspective on that daily bar, you'd have to say it's relatively uneventful, right? It's been relatively uneventful yesterday. Yeah, okay, in small time frames, there's movement, but from a daily perspective, It's not really a significant bar, is it? So I'm still slight risk on. I think the market is relatively resilient right now. Yes, we could get a slight pullback. If we look at this on the 4-hour, you know, it's very similar. It just looks like, okay, are we correcting back? Remember, we have had a nice move. Do we need to digest this move? You know, in the form of something like this, or a slight corrective like we got here, possibly. So I'm not massively worried about, which I was actually surprised. I was looking on social media, a lot of people saying, well, you could get a little bit of a real drop here, and I just didn't agree with it. Now, it could come, but as I said, this daily bar, I'm still slight risk on. Yeah, okay, I would just look for the end of this corrective and then look at buying it up again, you know, if you're that way inclined. But S&P for me still looks good, but it does look like today, albeit we're over Asia, London opening up in 20 minutes, looks like we could get some possible corrective action back in those markets. So be aware of that. That would probably be my intraday bias, but overall, I'm still bullish. Thanks, Silver Mate. Yeah, it felt nice. It did feel nice. I was very close because I believe on this account. So because this is new, i.e. the new accounts they have, the 175, I did it before they had all their automation and process, was they close it automatically when you make it 10%. So I think I got up to 940 or something. So I was very close to that $1,000 mark on this particular account for scale up. Anyway, it does feel nice to get that real winner, and it gives you a little bit of confidence and just a nice feeling after a few quiet months to get a nice winner. So I'm hoping to back that up with another one and another one and another one, and we go on and we push on as we did last year to finish the year off strongly. So yeah, I like that trade. Very nice trade. Right, dollar. Dollar was another one where there was not much movement. I know in small time frames you had a big push up on account of that news. A 4-hour perspective, yeah, okay, I'm a little bit more worried about that downside bias because of this price action here, i.e. you're basically your V reversal in. The daily is still resilient. I think today is interesting, right? So how are we going to close today? Are we going to close something similar to this, right? Are we going to get an uptick in volume? In which case you could say, well, is this the corrective now over and we're going to push on a little bit? I think today is interesting. So I'm going to wait to see how this daily closes, because if you do get a strong close, it would be, you know, a little bit of a worry for dollar bears, I think. So yeah, it's a difficult one. Again, it's a difficult one with the overall bias. Is this reactionary? Do I buy dollar strength? Would I be comfortable buying dollar strength? Probably not right now, and certainly not today. But as I said, if we get a decent close, yeah, there could be something there we look at tomorrow. So dollar, I'm gonna say myself on the fence. I'm gonna wait to see how the daily closes today. Not interested in it right now. Right, watch this today. Euro yen is pushing through. Euro yen is pushing through and pushing through very, very nicely. I don't think I get the retest here, which I did kind of say. I couldn't have taken that breakout anyway. I would have needed a few more days of accumulation. But Euro yen looking for a breakout retest. I don't think that one comes. I think it's probably motoring on Euro yen potential longs. Don't think I get that. One I looked at this morning was gold. So gold shorts, which I kind of like. I know it's counter trend on the weekly, but I'm wary of this price action, right? I don't like this price action for longs. You know, we're seeing some strength into this this pullback, which I know we've had in prior times. We did hold the 20 there on the last move down, but this is slightly different. And if you look at the daily, there is that confluence there with how price action is looking like right now, which I do like for shorts. So we're breaking through this area. 20 period is down there, squeezing into a break of this zone, which on small time frames we have actually broken. So from a 4-hour perspective, if I remove this, right, the pattern's there. So the pattern's there. We've got our cup with handle. It's obviously not a breakout, but we're in this retest phase, 20-period catch-up, looking for something here to go short. And I kind of like it. You know, if you do get some dollar strength and, you know, negatively affecting gold, but, you know, there is possibility here on the hourly as well. As you can see, if we come back and retest this area, I think I would prefer it on the 4-hour because it is gold. But I don't mind that. You know, I don't mind that. We've got some, as I said, I really like this daily. You're breaking structure on the daily. We've got that weekly impulsive move. You've got your breakout, retest, old support potentially becoming new resistance. And as I said, as a break of structure, you could look at this as a head and shoulders as well. So are we changing trend here? I don't think we can call it a change of a trending move, or I can't say we're going with trend. But there's certainly some validity to going with gold shorts, and I like it. Actually, my gut likes it. So I'm going to see how this 4-hour progresses, and maybe even the 1-hour, possibly even the 1-hour. If we get a pullback and a nice pullback into this zone, if I zoom in on this a little bit, get a nice pullback into this zone. You know, it could be something. It could be something in there that I don't mind. Momentum with gold right now is certainly down. We've had this phase here from this recent push of accumulation, essentially. And we're looking nice in terms of ready to move. Looking nice for potential shorts. And again, the premise of the call is if I'm right, I could really be right. So potential gold shorts there, I don't mind. USD yen as well. USD yen. I did have a feeling this would break. I did have a feeling yesterday that this would break. So another one like Euro Yen where I don't think the retest is going to happen. So you've created that structure. Not quite an aggressive entry in there, although I wouldn't have mind if someone had said I'm taking USD Yen long here. But I don't think I get the retest. It's probably a little bit too far gone on USD Yen. But let's see. And finally, another one I really like is UK Brent, UK oil. This is still doing exactly what I want it to do. And getting close to setup on this daily, getting close to setup on this 4-hour. You can see here, we're kind of coming down. And essentially, as I said, we're looking for that 20-period catch-up. Maybe, if I zoom in, maybe we've created a wave, possibly a... You know, this would be ideal. Even an AB shallow C would be fine, or an AB proper C. With your rejection candle here, that would be great for an aggressive entry. It would take that all day. If we don't get that and we do come down and tag this area again, we'd be looking for that 20-period catch-up to go short. Weekly is obviously great. I still like this weekly in a really nice position with the idea like gold is if I'm right, could really be right. So from a 4-hour perspective, wasn't an aggressive entry here. I did look at it, but again, with the strength of this movement here, after analyzing the aggressives, and we did that through a workshop one day, it just was too impulsive in nature and too strong in nature, albeit I know that is a characteristic of gold and how it moves, for me to take that short. So I'd be more comfortable from a 4-hour perspective creating that secondary V reversal, and possibly getting an aggressive entry on a third structure or a breakout with accumulation, etc. Something in that form just to get me into gold shorts. So I like the idea of it. I do like gold shorts. And even if the dollar loses strength, again, depending on what price action looks like, we've had a lot of times over the past year or so where you're getting the normal or the positive, no, this not a negative correlation with gold and dollar. Basically what I'm saying is they've moved in the same direction quite a few times over the past year and a half. So I'm not as worried about if we get USD weakness. As I said, if we do push on, then fine. I don't take it, but I do like where this is. Oh, so I'm talking about gold. What am I talking about? What an idiot. It's fucking oil. Sorry, excuse my language. Forget everything about the US dollar I just said. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. I thought I was talking about gold. But yeah, what an idiot. Anyway, so forget all that. I like where this is. Looking at this coming down and accumulating for a break to the downside. I just completely had a blonde moment there. Just analyzed gold and changed it. Just shows you. Huh? just confused myself. Gold looks like it's pushing down anyway, which from an hourly perspective, if gold does push through here, okay, I can't take it from an hourly perspective, but it's still fine on the 4 hour, okay? So if it does push down, again, we're just going to take that as part of our break. So once we do start to pull back, I can still look at that. So this is okay on a 4 hour, I prefer on a 4 hour than a 1 hour, obviously, because there's more price action involved in that 4 hour candles. They're higher probability. But I do like gold shorts and do like Brent shorts. Let's see whether they come through and come true. So Euro Yen, I don't think I'm going to get. USD Yen, I don't think I'm going to get. I think they've already gone. But very much like this and very much like this. And I better say I'm out of this. And I'll go and calculate the exact R I got out of the German 30 and let you guys know. Let's see if it's updated. Sometimes it takes 15 minutes or so to update. I would just like to know the exact percentage here. No, it's not updated yet. So I'll let you know when it does. But nice trade. No worries, Leon. I'm just finishing actually. Anything you guys want me to look at? Anything? Any questions? Any trades you guys have done? Anything on trading? Let me know. That's what I'm here for. End of school day, graduation for your son, Leon, right? Or daughter? Son or daughter? So you have a direct breakout of setup data. What do you mean, Silver? A direct breakout of setup data. Yeah, no worries, man. Not quite sure I understand, Silver. Daughter. Ah, okay, nice, Leon. Nice. I haven't done it, Prakash, the last day or two. I will get back into it. I will get back into it. I've done 2 days of testing. Obviously, it needs a lot more, but I've been doing stuff. You know, I've had a few things like with the house that I've had to be involved with, and a few things that in the afternoon. So I haven't been able to go in and test it. So, but I'll get to it. I'll get to it. $100 trades on a direct break of setup. I don't understand what you mean by direct break of setup. Do you mean breakouts? Sorry, Silver. I'm trying to understand. Direct break of setup. You mean the breakout, the data for the breakouts? Is that right? Or the aggressive? Do you mean the payoff ratio for the aggressive and win rate, etc.? Direct. I don't understand direct breakout. Am I being silly? Am I losing my mind? Direct breakout. Aggressive. Sorry, Silver. I'm so confused. If you take the aggressive on a direct break, do you mean as a direct break? Do you mean like when it's close to the level, i.e., like something like this, like a bar that's close to the zone? Or you're just talking about the aggressive strategy data in general? Yeah, I had it on the old Discord. If you're talking about the aggressive strategy in general, I had it on the old Discord. But I also remember when we did the workshop. I have it somewhere. I have it somewhere because we did the workshop where I had all the data, and then I differentiated between trend and not trend, and I'll have to go and get it. I'll put it somewhere, Silver. But yeah, okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah, I put it somewhere. Actually, I think I'll go into the workshop. But I know what you mean. Okay, I'll get it. I'll find it somewhere. Yes, I do, essentially. Just want to know about EJ. We don't have any setup for breakout. Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I think I was harsh on EJ. You know, I know. Hindsight's always 2020, Prakash. Right? With what I was talking about with the weekly. I was just worried a little bit about it, because you know, as we've seen, kind of moves similarly. We've pulled back a little bit. I thought I was just wary about. Wouldn't mind just a little bit more, but I was wrong on that. You know. Although, like I said, hindsight is always 2020, and maybe if in 100 times I might have been right. So, I mean, if you had said, look, I like it, you're just ultimately going with trend, I wouldn't have minded it. The only issue I have with breakouts, Prakash, right, is let's say we've got a couple. Let's say we've got this, right. We're not looking for it to break too hard, because normally if it goes, then it probably goes. And if it does come back and it retests, you might get the retest in the form of that V reversal, or retest that I don't quite like, that I worry whether, okay, we faked out and we're going to start moving down. So when I get a break, I don't really want it to go too far where then we get our retest, if that makes sense. So something like that in terms of price action is better than, let's see, we get a cup with handle, than like this. If that kind of makes sense. I'll see if I can, I mean, what's a good example of that? Okay, it's not an example of what I took, but if we go back to EuroCAD 4 hour, these are my favorite types of breaks, right? When it's one bar, one strong bar coming on an uptick of volume, and then you get your retest in it, right? So that's my favorite type. You can get 2 or 3 smaller bars, but if you talk about a range and how it should kind of look, this is pretty much perfect, right? So instead of this bar being all the way down here, it's not really what I want, you know, unless maybe you get a complex corrective in it. But this is a great example of what I like to see. So you get that, even it could be a V reversal in, you know, your one bar here with high volume, and then your retest. That's my favorite type. But as I said, it can be, you know, this, and then we get it. What I don't like to see is sometimes when you get this and then you get this, right? I don't really like seeing an inverted hammer at the top. But obviously, if you're retesting, you know, it's your catalyst is coming here, right? But normally I don't like to see it. I like to see a strong break. You don't always get it. It's a bit more, you know, it's obviously not as rare, but I like to see a proper strong break, obviously coming with an uptick of volume. Now, also included in that retest, if I just go into this, the difference between the steady state, this is a steady state, and your ABC, is if you do get a nice push, okay, let's say you get your bar above, it's okay with this, as I talked about gold with that impulsive nature of the pullback, it's okay if you get an ABC, where A wave is slightly impulsive because your B and C digests that, okay? So from your break to A wave, can sometimes get price action that looks a little bit like reactionary, right? Slightly quick move to the downside. But we use the ABC to then digest that and get your catalyst C to go on. So that's where I don't mind a little bit impulsive nature on the breakout, is purely in that ABC break to A wave. If that makes sense. Actually, I might have it here, Silver. I might have it here. No, hey, look, it's my old trading diary. I don't have it here, Silver. I'll find it though. I will find it. Let's look at this. This is my old trading diary. Look at that. In the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take. If you don't have a trading diary, by the way, it can be anything. This, whatever, something you should keep. Because it's funny, as I look through this, motivation, what's the alternative? i.e. what's the alternative to trading is going back to a 9 to 5. That's quite interesting. Strategy notes, check, I don't even, when's the date of this? 2014 or something? Check for news prior to placing a trade. If you lose a trade, get out for 1 hour. So that must be get out of the room for an hour. Look at your effing board, you silly. Lost money needlessly. You need to start changing. Wow, look at all this. 1 step forward and 10 steps back. I mean, look, I'll show you this. You see this? That's where I was, guys. I was off the charts, annoyed with myself. I used to trade every day. Almost made a huge mistake. Learn how to lose, Ryan. And then it kind of goes through. If we look at the end, let's see where the end of this one is. I'm not sure. So this was my last entry. I don't know if this is interesting, but this is my last entry in this diary that I have. So it's going through a drawdown, but have been patient. No revenge trades. 100k challenge was down around 92, but I've pulled it back to 95,000. Long way to go, so need to stay patient with this and cannot try and get through it too quickly. Long way to go, and remember, I only need 5k profit in 2 months. You can do it. So it just shows you at the start of it, towards the end of it, it's starting to be a much more positive vibe, right? Past the 100k challenge, well done. Don't rest, as there's still one more step to go before you get this account. No rush. Lots of positives. So yeah, it's funny how it goes. That's good to look back on. You know, I have it in here. Again, if you don't do it, it's something good to do. And what I think it's also important, why keeping a trading diary is important, I've got my new one here. This is my old RTFX one, trading diary. Or my new RTFX one, which I've actually silly used for some business notes, but there's still some stuff in here. This is the most consistent you have ever been. I'm feeling more confident. But it's always good in the shitty times to look back on keeping a trading diary. So there's a big tip for today. If you don't do it, get something, write down your thoughts. And if anything, you know, if you're angry, writing it down. Aman, enough. If you know, if you're still here, right? When you're angry with a trade, maybe you did something silly, you lose an account, you lose a challenge. Instead of, or you're losing a trade in a challenge, instead of having a little bit of like, oh shit, I need to get this back. Write down what you're feeling, because often it helps, right? Getting your thought onto paper where you feel a little bit like, okay, do you know what? I'm all right. You know, put a positive vibe on it, a positive spin on it, and you kind of move forward in that kind of. I mean, it helped me, and it helps a lot of people. So can't hurt to try, right? If you don't do it. Right, guys. Anything else? Any other questions? Sorry, I didn't think I'd pull that up. It was just in my drawer. I was looking for that paper I had with all the aggressive notes. But there's a lot of effing and blinding in that first trading diary. That's for sure. Nada. All right, guys. Well, have a lovely day. Remember, 4 o'clock UAE time. There is some stuff coming out that we need to be aware of. And always remember to trade safe. I'm in a nice position. Had a good trade. I don't need to feel like, okay, this is it now. I'm gonna win my next trade. I need to place it now. Again, we got to do the same things, whether winning, we're losing. You know, you get overconfident, which I'm obviously not. You know, the market will certainly humble you. So just doing the same things day in, day out, and being patient, and all will be good in the end. Cheers, Silver. Right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.